So I hear you want to look expensive, but you're putting the outfits together and you're like, something's not right. Chances are it's probably the hair and the makeup. The amount of people that overlook hair and makeup as being a vital part of the outfit, it's heartbreaking. But I'm here to give you a makeup look that you can easily do that I feel like does give that polished, elevated, expensive energy, but it's about making it look like just an enhanced version of you. I'm not using any crazy colors or any crazy techniques to alter or change anything on my skin or my face. I'm just using what I already have and just making it that little bit better. Before we get into it though, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I am Liv and I am teaching the girlies how to look expensive. Round here we treat every day like a fashion show. If that is something you're interested in, make sure you're subscribed to my channel so that you never miss a thing from me. Woo, jump scare. I got no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and no lips. So let's transform this face into this, but better. Always starting off with some kind of moisturizer. As it's the daytime, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of SPF. This one is fabulous because it's like moisturizing, it's hydrating, it's not too thick. Also doesn't pill underneath makeup either. Oh, you'd be surprised the amount of SPFs I've tried that all just pill. And they always do it right when you're in a rush too. You don't have time to take your makeup off and read it. A little bit of the Rare Beauty brow gel. This is in the shade Soft Blonde. I adore these actually. I was a big fan of like clear brow gels for so long. I kind of was very anti tinted brow gels. The problem was they would coat the skin around my brow as well as the hairs. I didn't want that. I just want a brow gel that's just gonna coat the hairs, hold them in place, and isn't gonna like be really messy around the brow. And this does exactly that. I also love the color because a lot of the blonde shades you get in brow products are really warm, and this one I'd say is like quite like a neutral blonde. Oh my god, we have eyebrows. They're not done yet. At least we don't look too scary. And then just to deal with the lip situation, a little lip stain. It really doesn't take long for the pigment to stain. That was in the shade Haze, by the way, which is a bit more of a pinky one. I think Aurora's the other one that I like to alternate between. Aura, not Aurora, which is like a bit more of a brownie one. This makes me so excited. This is the Rhode Highlight Milk. It is fairly new to me. I've been using it for maybe the past couple of days. I love it. I was a bit concerned because I'd seen real mixed things online. The problem a lot of people are having with it is that they're going for too darker shades. This is not like a skin tint, okay? This is not what you buy if you want like a bronzy, glowy tint under your makeup, because it's just gonna look patchy, and that's what I think a lot of people have really noticed. But I've gone for the shade 2. Yeah, shade 2, which is like a champagne shade, and I don't see any patchiness because I feel like it blends in with my skin really nicely. It's really hydrating and I love the glow that it gives. It just sits really nice under makeup, and I really focus it around like this area, especially at the minute because I feel like I'm not sleeping because of the heat. This is just gonna help bounce back the light so that my under eyes don't look super dark. Just peel this off, see what I mean? Like, it just gives you a little sun, especially if you're someone like me who doesn't really have much pigment in the lips. Just stops them from disappearing into my face. The secret to expensive looking makeup is not wearing a ton of foundation, concealer, and being really cakey with it. It's about like subtle tweaks to make you look better. And one of the ways that I do that, like I was saying with my under eyes, is using like a corrector, whether it's be like a pinkier one or a peachier one, because both of those tones help counteract kind of darkness around the eyes. One that I do actually love that I don't have anymore that I really need to actually repurchase is the Beauty Pie one. That is such a good under eye brightener. But I also love this one from Charlotte Tilbury, and if you've watched any of my vlogs, I also love the pink one from MAC. They do like a little pink color corrector that's so good for under the eyes. I've been enjoying this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade 1 Fair. I've actually been using the YSL All Glowy Foundation. Why don't I just show you? Alternating between these two products for the past couple of weeks. Love them, but I have a little bit of tan on. I think I'm gonna go back to like an old favorite of mine, which is the Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. I need to get either of those in a slightly deeper shade so that when I'm tanned, I can still use them because I love them. I have mine in the shade 4, and I feel like it works quite well for when I've got a little bit of tan on. And I don't go crazy with this, to be honest. I feel like I probably don't use enough foundation, whether I use a skin tint or foundation, but I would rather go in with less and be more strategic about where I conceal and where I put the coverage than go in with a really thick, heavy layer and then constantly have to deal with like touching it up all day, making sure it's not gone cakey. I'm a big fan of coverage where needed and keeping things natural where it's not needed. And I think in turn it just creates a bit more of like a natural finish. It looks like your skin but better rather than it being like completely covered up. There's certain things about, maybe it's an age thing, maybe as I'm getting older, like I don't mind seeing real skin peeking through. I'm like, I kind of don't care. Like, I just feel like that's just my face. There's nothing I can do about it. I could sit and layer on 20 layers of foundation, but it's also summer. And I also want to look expensive and not like I'm trying to hide anything. If you are on the beauty YouTube, beauty talk, beauty blogger situation, this will probably bring back some memories. In fact, it might not, because it looks slightly different to what it used to, but this is the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Concealer. I remember, especially in the UK beauty blogger scene, this concealer was like the GOAT. Like all of the beauty bloggers would talk about this, about spot concealing. I think Lisa Eldridge really like pioneered the whole spot concealing thing, but I feel like this really, she was a spot concealing must have, and I remember buying it back in the day, loving it, but they have redone it, reformulated it, I don't know, but they've added in like your base tone, which is more of like a neutral, and they've added in a warm and a cool tone, so you can mix and match, and like depending on where you're concealing and what kind of thing you're concealing, you can really play with this. Kind of genius. It makes you feel like a makeup artist. I think if I wasn't doing what I was doing, I would probably go down that route, because I just love makeup. Oh my god, can you hear the seagulls? I don't live anywhere near the sea. Under my eyes, I'm just gonna do a dot, another dot, maybe another little swoosh. That is it. Little goes a long way with this. This is my all-time favorite concealer, but I keep seeing that people are saying that this is gonna be reformulated because one of the ingredients in it is like banned in the EU, so they're gonna reformulate. Same with the Charlotte Tilbury one, actually. Quite a lot of my favorite products have all got this ingredient in. Oh, I'm stressed. I hate that. I hate that. I feel like a lot of people kind of love or hate this concealer, but I think the trick, little amount and blend it out and add more if needed. I feel like that is a very common theme in this video. I think some people just go in with way too much product and then they're like, it's really cakey and it doesn't sit and it creases, and I'm like, how much are you using? Because it's like an incredibly pigmented concealer. You just need a teeny tiny amount. Blend it out with a fluffy brush and it won't set into your creases. It doesn't go cakey, it just flawless. Let's add some structure back in. We're gonna use the Silhouette Stick from Vive. Quite a lot of Vive products in my life these days, but I feel like they're a brand that have really started to impress me. I've like been sleeping on them for just a bit too long, but I really like the Silhouette Stick because this shade in particular, what is this? This is medium. It's like a really nice balance between cool and warm. Sometimes I find with contour sticks they can be really ashy, which is great if you have more of a paler skin tone, but like I tan, sometimes I'm really pale, sometimes I tan. I like to have products that I can kind of use across the board. I feel like because this isn't too warm and it's not too cool, I can use it kind of whenever. I also have a hair on my face right now and it is driving me insane. Where is it? And I just like blend upwards under the cheekbone just to give a little. And then bronzing, we're gonna go in with the Vive Modern Radiance Cream Bronzer in the shade Light to Medium. Obsessed with this. This is so good. The color, the finish, the blend, ugh, it's everything. It's so nice. I've been reaching for this a lot. This around the perimeters of the face. A blush that I always gravitate back to whenever I want to just look like alive, healthy, expensive, and nothing too crazy. Like I do like to play with my blush quite often. I like to play with kind of pinks and reds and berry tone. Whoa. On the days where I'm like, I just want to look elevated and I want to look expensive, this is the shade that I keep coming back to. It's from Emco Beauty, which is not an expensive brand by any means. In fact, it's incredibly affordable. But the shade itself, I feel like that's what gives expensive, you know? Where is my brush? It's like a really pretty peach. And I just feel like it does the job of really like lifting the skin, lifting the face, making the color like pop. You look alive, well rested. Everything you would want your blush to do. And I feel like it's the sort of shade that's impossible to give off like blush blindness. It's almost like a beigey peach rather than like a super like warm orangey peach. Oof. Yeah, these are so nice. They're like little cream highlighters from Hourglass. I take it on the back of my hand and then I buff it into my brush because I don't want the 2016 bright highlight. I want it to look like I'm naturally glowing. I want someone to go, wow, you're glowing. Have you been drinking carrot juice? Like that's what I want. I have actually been drinking carrot juice. I am on that side of TikTok. Is it Aisha Potter, her name? The one who like basically like started the trend. I've well and truly been suckered in. But do you know what it was? It was because I saw someone talking about the Joe and the Juice drink and I was like, okay, that sounds delicious. So I went and got that, and then I got suckered in to the whole carrot juice trend. But like every time I've been to Joe and the Juice since, they've been like, we're out of carrots, we're out of carrots. I'm thinking, oh, that's actually really rude. What do you mean? Basically the trend, if you've not seen it, is apparently if you drink lots of carrot juice, your skin will be glowing. And because I was raised by the Pixie Woo girls, I'm gonna let that sit and marinate on my face before I set it with powder. I do feel like this is a real throwback to my youth doing this. Sitting down and doing a makeup video. I get a lot of questions on my shorts about how I do my eyebrows. So if you are one of the people wanting to find out, lock in, because I'm about to show you. Obviously we've done the brow gel, we've let that dry. That's now set, that is dry, the brows are not moving. Now we fill the brows in. I've been starting off with the NYX micro brow pencil. This routine I've been doing now for well over a year, potentially 2 years. Depends how long this has been out. I feel like it could be a year. So maybe a whole year and then some. I've been doing this routine. 10 out of 10, have repurchased so many times. Let me zoom you in actually so you can get a real good look. So I'm using the shade Taupe because the NYX blonde one is orange. Taupe, which is perfect. Filling in the gaps with this. So this is more of just like giving me shape rather than giving me like fake brow hairs. Do you know what I mean? Like it's giving me a base. I feel like my brows look different every single time I do them as well. Sometimes they're a little more rounded. Sometimes I wing them out towards my temple. I go in with the Maybelline Builder Brow. This is in the shade Ash Brown. Now we finally have brows. Isn't that good? Definitely don't match. Then again, I feel like half my face doesn't, do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm like this. It is what it is. Just zooming you back out because you don't need to be that close for the remainder of this video. Because this is like an everyday makeup kind of situation, there is one product that I've just been reaching for non-stop, and it's the Vive Eye Wand in the shade Camel. And it's essentially just pretty much the same shade as like my bronzer. Where my bronzer on my oily eyelids likes to slip and slide and disappear into my crease and kind of do its own thing, this gives me that bronzer sculpted blended effect but locks in. Does not budge, does not crease. And I literally just apply this to the outer V as if I was like contouring my eyelid, and then I use a big fluffy brush on my finger depending on how much time I have. Sometimes I'm just like done. The best blending brush I've ever tried for my eyeshadow. This just does all the hard work for you. I literally just buff it out, blend it up towards the brow bone, a little bit whatever's left in the brush under the eye. I want it to be completely seamless. I want it to look like I'm not wearing eyeshadow, but it's there. You know, it's doing the sculpting, it's blended the eyes in with the bronze on the rest of the face. It looks harmonious rather than like I've stuck eyeshadow onto my face. Like I feel like there's a time and place for that. If you want a good brown liner, this one from Maybelline, highly, highly underrated. Do you wanna know why I love it? Because it comes with an angled brush. No rubbish sponges here. They said, you wanna sculpt? We got you. And this is in the shade Cocoa Contour or Mocha Contour? Mocha Contour. It's broken. Oh no. Oh no! Because it's like a retractable one and that doesn't go any further. So I would really recommend that, but I can't show you it in action because it's broken. So let's use my second favorite liner, which is Limitless Brown. That's so annoying. I'm gonna have to get another one of those. I just like a softer brown rather than a really dark brown, just for every day. I think it needs to act more as like a shadow rather than like strong winged liner kind of situation. Curl in the lashes always. And the mascara that I love, Maybelline Sky Tubes. Basically, Maybelline have been thriving with their new launches. Like if Maybelline actually discontinued any of the products that I've shared in this video, I would probably start a riot and lose my temper, I'd tell you that for free. I need them to come out with this mascara in a brown though. I think that would work so nicely for every day. I just love it. If you are a hooded girly like me and you do struggle with your mascara transferring, this one is tried and tested. And if you want a brown mascara that doesn't do it, the Hourglass one, but obviously that's considerably more expensive than this. You want to blur your skin. You want your skin to look like the blur powder that I use. Well, actually, I kind of mix it. I like to use the Cherry Blossom Cake from Huda Beauty under my eyes with like a powder puff, because obviously the pink helps brighten that area. And I think pressing with a powder puff is the secret to making sure like nothing gets stuck in like any creases or any lines around the eyes. But then for the rest of my face and for like I mainly have like enlarged pores around my nose and around my T-zone. This powder, this is the Glass powder from Rodial. I think she is a little bit more on the pricier side, but boy, is it the best powder I've ever used. It has a slightly peachy undertone as well, so I feel like it really does just like make your skin look amazing. I just use a big fluffy brush, work it into the brush, and then press it over my skin, basically everywhere, because this doesn't necessarily mattify to a crazy amount either. Like it still gives you a bit of iridescence on the skin. Iridescence is probably the wrong word. Like a skin-like finish. It's not super mattifying, but it's really blurring. I think it's a really great like finishing powder. But it also does a really good job of setting, so I just love it. I literally love this. You set the skin with powder, you want to set your bronzer and your blush. So I'm going to use this MAC one in the shade. This is the Matte Medium Golden Skin Finish Sunstruck Matte Bronzer. That was a mouthful. I think it's a Sunstruck Matte Bronzer in the shade Medium Golden. And then I just use that to kind of go over anywhere where I use the cream bronzer, just to really set it in. I really like this one. I like this one and I like the Victoria Beckham one. I usually use this one if I'm like traveling anywhere because it's a little bit lighter. The Victoria Beckham one literally is like a brick. It's called the bronzing brick, and I tell you what, it weighs like a brick. I just love the color though. Blush, we're going to use the shade 37 from YSL. It's like, again, a gorgeous peachy tone that really works nicely with that MK Beauty one. And I also really like to use, basically this is like a highlighter brush, but I feel like because these blushes from YSL are so pigmented, I've messed these up. In fact, I didn't use these. I had a couple in my drawer and I just avoided using them because I was like, every time I use them, they go on too strong and they don't blend nicely. And then I saw someone using it with this brush from Morphe and I was like, let me give it another go. And I realized, aha, you just need a really light brush so it's not picking up too much product. And then you need to like work it into the brush on the back of your hand, just so it's like evenly distributed in the bristles, and really lightly circular motions like buff it into the skin. That is the secret. Okay, last but not least, we need to add a lip. KJH brand Precision Sculpture Stylo, just where I want to contour. That's really high up. Now I look like I have a mustache. I love this because it literally makes your lips look so much bigger. Like if you like the Nina Park blurred lip. Then I'm going to use the Huda Beauty lip contour in the shade Warm Brown. This is such a good like brownie nude lip. Adds a bit of contour, bit of definition. And then for color, I'm going to use Rosy Nude in the new Liquid Matte Mousses. I really like these. Just enjoying like a matte lip. I think where I love a big bouncy blow dry normally, a matte lip is probably more my go-to because lip gloss and a big bouncy blow dry are like, it makes me want to fight. Like it actually makes me want to fight. I'm not an aggressive person, but it makes me want to fight. The fact that all these brands are coming up with these amazing like lip blurring matte lips, like YSL have really good ones, which if you watch any of my vlogs I talk about them all the time, called the Love Nude lip blushers. Love these. I talk about these all the time. I literally been wearing them non-stop in my vlogs. But Hourglass have also launched like a blurring phantom balm. They're really buildable. The colours are stunning as well. And then Huda Beauty launched these ones and I love. Finishing touches, let's do some freckles. This is just a random freckle pen I bought from Amazon. But you know what? The colour of it actually does give like real life freckles. I have a couple of favourite setting sprays, if I'm being honest with you. This one I'd say is the most comfortable. Like you spray this on, then you forget that you've sprayed a setting spray, but your makeup just lasts. And this is my finished expensive looking makeup. The makeup that I go for when I want to look really polished and put together and elevated. It looks like me, just like on a really good day. And that is the secret for making your makeup look expensive. It should look like you, but enhanced. And yeah, let me know if you try it. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one.